good old love. You know, I used to be the best codependent ever. I played it really well. Grew up with my father drinking. Guess what? Left home at 15. I was going to have a different life. I'll show them. Married my first husband, who, guess what, was an alcoholic. See how the patterns go? And of course, I was the one, because I grew up scared of them fighting, and had a judgment on alcohol because it scared me. You know, if you drink, you're out of control and you're violent. So I grew up, I was really scared of it. So I was a peacemaker. I tried to make everything okay. And then in my first marriage, I was the best codependent, like peace at all costs. So he would rave and rant. I wouldn't say anything. And, you know, we'd all pretend it wasn't there, but it was. And so then my husband died, and then my two grown-up children from that marriage turned out to be heroin addicts. And I just carried on the pattern. I was there in the middle, you know, helping them, like carrying on, like they would take drugs, and I would go, oh, it's okay for you, I'll help. In fact, I wasn't helping anyone at all. I was just prolonging the whole situation. And I was told you have to have tough love. Tough love, what's that? Because I wanted my children and my first husband to love me, you know, I just took the crumbs. So I'll be this good person, I'll help, and, you know, but it was unhealthy. We'd all gone into a very unhealthy pattern. And so I finally learned, I am a slow learner, I must admit, that that was an unhealthy pattern. And in my need to be needed and loved, like, because I didn't love myself at all, and I didn't even know I didn't love myself. I needed my husband's love, my mother's love, my father's love, and I would do things so people would love me. Really, quite a martyr. But then at the same time, I wanted my ounce of flesh, my ounce of love from them. Like, look at all I've given you, so you owe me. How bad is that? Oh my goodness. I'm shocked when I look at it now. And so it doesn't work. And so it wasn't their job to love me, it was my job to love me. First of all, I had to find out I didn't, and why I wasn't, and what I could do to love myself. Because we're programmed, you have to love everybody else, but not yourself. That's selfish. You have to give to others, not to yourself, you know, and then as a mother, you know, that's just what you do. But at a certain stage, you have to stop doing that, like when they're 16, they're adults. But I wanted to hang on. And actually, it's very suffocating because they can't live their own life. So if they can't do that, they want to rebel and get away from you. And so, you know, codependency is the term that they use for it, but it's putting everyone else first, but then being a martyr about it and moaning and whining, like, I did all this for you, you know, you're bad, you haven't given anything back. Why should they when you're doing everything for them? They don't have to give anything back, you know. You're there picking up the crumbs. So as mothers, you know, it's really good. I have learned now to put myself first and love everybody totally, but I don't do what I did before. You know, they're free to come and go, and so am I. And so there's no emotional blackmail going on anymore. That's what it was, emotional blackmail. I'll do all this for you. I'll pretend you're not taking drugs. Just love me. Oh, how sad. So now we have a healthy relationship, and I've learned that pattern is just a pattern, I can acknowledge it, look at it, and let the victim go, and so now live a healthy life and not expect people to love you. We all go, oh, he doesn't love me, or she doesn't love me, and they never have to love you at all when you love yourself. Guess what? You don't need anyone to love you. How powerful is that? So loving yourself is just turning around, loving, nurturing, putting yourself first, saying, what do I want to do today? How can I live my life? How can I live today being very healthy, happy? It might mean having a bath with candles, might mean going with friends, giving up being a martyr. And actually, then everybody gets let off the hook and we can all just have a happy time. So, oh, it took many, many years to get it. And I'm so grateful that I did. And now I can just sit and laugh at some of the funny things that I did and how I got caught up in all this. But my payoff, I must say, like knowing my husband did this and my husband did that, and because I listened to my mother all my life, bad mouthing my father, and I used to sit in agony and think, but I'm half my father, he's not bad. And then, as much as I said I would never do that, I found myself doing it. And it was just horrible. And so I learned that that was just a pattern. It didn't have to stay there. It wasn't true forever. And so I let it go. And I disciplined myself not to say that anymore. I don't go behind anyone's back to say horrible things because I know that all comes back to me. And what a valuable lesson. And I don't say anything bad about my children, because I realized my judgment was actually my fear of alcohol, my fear of drugs, because then you're out of control, and then I can't control the situation, as a child for survival, just want to fix everything. And so it's actually a physical thing in your second chakra where all your emotions are, and the solar plexus where your power center is. And it's like your emotion. But I have to save my child. Not even going through your head any thinking process. It's just like I'm driven to save my daughter. Where is she? She's on the street. I put myself in so many dangerous situations, trying to find her, trying to save her, when it was never my responsibility. But as a parent, especially as a mother, you just don't want to let go because you think it's your responsibility. So tough love, in a way, actually worked because finally I said to my daughter, I put my hand over my heart and said, I just can't do this anymore. And that really, she said, that really got to her, and I really meant it. I can't pick up the pieces anymore. It's killing me. And then I learned that I never had to do it anyway. So the joke was on me. And so now I'm able to say what I want and say, no, this doesn't work for me. I've learned to say no. And I let my heart tell me, like when my daughter was on drugs for years, and then finally she got better and she said she wanted to go to university. My whole heart was like singing. And she said she wanted to go. I said, I'd happily pay for that. And other things like your heart tells you, if it doesn't feel good in your heart, then just don't do it. And I've learned to say, if you say no, it doesn't mean you don't love the person. It just means no, you don't want to do that. But we put so much emotional things on it. And also, if you're so desperate for love, your child can emotionally blackmail you, your husband, anyone, because you don't want to upset anyone, because you want their love. So now all that is gone. No emotional blackmail. You say what you want, and you're not attached anymore because you have your own love. So it doesn't matter. And how healthy is that? You can let your children go to have a healthy life with genuine love and blessing because you're healthy now. And so I'm just saying that people get stuck for generations in this old pattern. I've known grandparents that come to see me and their children's children, they're onto drugs, the parents may be in jail, so the grandparents are taking all the responsibility. So they say to me, how did you ever get out of it? I broke the pattern. Everybody can. It took me a while to learn it. Um, you can just do it. It's great. So, what fun to discover that. And the mystery is solved. And the unhealthy patterns can go. And you can live life just saying, this is what I want. And because your life is yours, your partners, your children, their life is theirs. And so it's up to us to love ourselves and to take care of our own energy and our own life. I guarantee it works. So try it.